So, I'm gonna tell you the War of 1862. This war was in Mexico, the French invasion of Mexico. That that's kind of a pointless war. A country in Europe, a country in I was almost about to say Africa, but a country in North America. Why would they fight? The main thing was money. And the French king Napoleon the Third. It's not Napoleon the First. It's his third brother, Napoleon the Third. Napoleon the Third was the third Napoleon of France. That sounds weird. That sounds weird. But he was a emperor of France. So Spain, British Empire, and the second French colonial empire. That's a big name. Said agreed in Berlin to sign a contract that was to we will visit Mexico, and at that time Mexico was in a civil war, and at that time they will visit Mexico, and they had no intentions to capture Mexico, but France on the other hand had a plan, which we will know in the rest when we will go there. But the invasion, and so when they all arrived in when they arrived in Guadalquivir, one thing, so they met to the emperor, which was Juan, Juan Ava, Juan Ava. So Juan Ava simply just handshaked mosque, not mosque, mosquito. So when they visited each other, one one thing happened. Everyone was peaceful, and when British and Spanish lived, and when Juan Ava left, the French army came to Mexico Juarez and attacked attacked Mexico brutally attacked Mexico brutally, and day by day France was gaining territory in Mexico, and day by day Mexico was losing territory in Mexico. Wait, hold on, that doesn't make sense. Mexico is a country and they're losing their own country. But day by day Mexico was losing some parts of their country. But after some time, my famous word, after some time, one thing happened. When they met in Garda, the city of Garda, they couldn't advance further. But the Mexican defense was really strong, and till this day, the 9th of May, Mexico celebrates the Cisno matters, because 500 were murdered. 500 people died. Were 500 people from the French army died, and 200 people from the Mexican army died. But when the reinforcement arrived, at that time reinforcement was late. But when the reinforcement arrived, Mexico quickly lost that territory and went at once to the Mexican city. Mexican city had eventually fallen, and at that time France established the monarchy they wanted, and called Maximilian the First to be the president of Mexico, not the president, the king of Mexico. Maximilian at that time, if somebody else was the king of Austria, how would they feel? They would feel they would feel in excitement. But on the other hand, Maximilian wasn't feeling that great, because he thought, may will I die? But one thing happened. the the French, not the French, the Mexican thought, the Mexican emperor or Maximilian, I'm gonna say the Mexican emperor. The Mexican emperor had it, had it some disease itself. he had a fever at that time, so he had it some disease like fever, smallpox, you get it. But one thing happened. When he arrived to Mexico, the Mexicans saw that he was a liberal, which at that time was not at the case of Mexico. People wanted a king. K-I-N-G. King. They wanted a king. But one thing happened. When he arrived, the king or the liberal, the liberal was quite surprisingly was quite surprisingly good there, acted well and behaved. But the Mexican army had a plan to kill him. When the Mexican army was in his fort, was in his door, in next to the fort, one of his friend betrayed him and opened the door, and the Mexican army rushed and took the king and killed him. Killed him. So when Maximilian was about to sentence to when Maximilian was sentenced to death, he went to the race course, not the race course. He went to the ground where he was about to kill. So all of the Mexican soldiers pointed at his heart and said, "We will kill Maximilian." At that time, the French troops retreated. At that moment, Maximilian had a chance to escape because the Mexican army was scattered. He could escape, but he thought, "I will not escape. My fate is ending here." And when Maximilian's last word was, "People of Mexico, I thought I will be the king, but here I wasn't a great king. I thought I would make this country freedom. I will make this country great. But I couldn't do it. The people of Mexico, here again. I will be a martyr. I will be a martyr. Long live independence. Long live Mexico." It was his last words. And at that time, when every soldier shot at his heart, he died. And when he died, he fell. When he fell, some people, 800 people, took him to Austria, and there was his grave. At this grave was said, "The first and the only emperor of Mexico, Maximilian the First." And that's all of it.